I bought her flowers, paid rent, supported her dreams, and yet one night she told me, "I don't feel anything for you anymore." That was the night I realized I didn't understand what women wanted, but worse, I didn't know what I wanted either.
This is a story about me, a regular guy in his late 20s who thought love was about doing everything right. I thought if I was nice, supportive, and always available, I'd be the perfect boyfriend. Turns out that's not what a healthy relationship is about. This story isn't about blame. It's about understanding what men really want, but often don't know how to ask for. And maybe, just maybe, it'll help someone avoid what I went through. I met her at a mutual friend's birthday party. She was funny, loud, full of life. I was the quieter type, more of a listener. Somehow it worked. The first few months were great. We'd stay up texting, talk about dreams, go on late-night drives. I thought, wow, this is what love is supposed to feel like. I worked a full-time job as a graphic designer, and she was finishing school. I was happy to help out with groceries, meals, even rent once in a while. I wanted her to feel safe with me. The truth is, I was trying to earn her love by being useful. 6 months in, things started to change. Little comments here and there. "You never challenge me. Why do you always say yes to everything? Sometimes I wish you had more edge." It confused me. I thought being easygoing was a good thing. I thought avoiding arguments meant we were doing well. I'd ask, "Is something wrong?" And she'd say, "No, I just feel off sometimes." I started doing more dates, more gifts, more helping around her place. I even surprised her with a weekend trip. But something in her eyes was slipping away. Her body was present, but her mind felt miles away. One night, I made us dinner, cleaned the apartment, and planned a movie night. She came home, looked exhausted, and barely said hi. I asked, "Rough day?" She nodded, then sat down and stared at the TV, not turning it on. After a few minutes, she said it. "I don't feel anything for you anymore." It felt like the floor dropped. I asked, "Did I do something wrong?" She replied, "No, that's the thing. You've been perfect. You're just too nice, too predictable. I don't feel like I'm with a man. I feel like I'm with a roommate who's always trying to please me." That stung in a way I didn't expect. I'd done everything I thought a good man should do. She didn't want perfect. She wanted presence, strength, direction. And I realized I didn't have any of those, not really. I was always reacting to her needs, never expressing my own. I didn't even know what they were. She moved out a week later. I was numb. Friends said things like, "She didn't deserve you," or "You're better off." But none of that helped. I didn't want comfort. I wanted answers. So I started reading, watching, listening. Not to blame her, but to understand myself, to figure out what I had missed. That's when I stumbled onto this idea of male psychology in relationships, not just how men behave, but what they truly need and often ignore. Here are the 5 biggest things I learned, things I now believe most men want in a relationship but don't know how to say. 1. We want to feel respected more than we want to feel loved. I realized I didn't feel respected. I felt tolerated. I was always trying to earn approval instead of standing firm in who I was. Most men equate respect with being valued. Love feels empty without it. 2. We want emotional safety too, but we rarely say it. I thought I had to be strong by hiding emotions. But true strength is sharing without fear of being judged. Men want to be vulnerable, but only when they feel it's safe. I never asked for that safety, and she never knew I needed it. 3. We want to lead, not control, but lead. I was always asking, "What do you want to do?" or "Whatever you prefer." I thought I was being polite, but it came off as weak. Most men feel most alive when they're leading with confidence, not dominance, but clarity. 4. We want to be chosen, not needed. There's a difference between being needed because you pay rent or drive her places and being chosen because of who you are. I was needed. I wasn't really seen. 5. We want to feel challenged, but not attacked.
Good relationships push you to grow, but constant criticism drains you. I needed to hear, "I believe in you," not just, "You're not enough." I didn't know how to ask for that, and I didn't know how to give it either. It took over a year before I dated again. This time I went in differently. I told her from the start, I want a relationship where we challenge each other, where I can speak freely, and where I'm not just a provider, I'm a partner. And guess what? That relationship didn't need constant fixing. It felt more honest. I didn't try to be perfect. I just showed up as myself. When I led with clarity, she trusted me more. When I opened up, she respected that. When I stopped chasing validation, everything flowed better. Most men want something very simple but very hard to express: to be respected, to be seen without being used, to have peace, purpose, and partnership. But we're not taught how to say that. We're taught to man up, stay quiet, and handle it alone. If you're a guy watching this and you feel like you're doing everything right and still feel empty, maybe it's time to stop pleasing and start leading. And if you're someone dating a man, don't just ask if he's okay. Ask if he feels respected. Ask what drives him. Ask who he is when no one's watching. You might be surprised by what he finally tells you. If you found something in this story that hit home, leave a comment below. If you're a guy who's been through something like this, share your story. And if you're just here to understand relationships better, thank you. That's the first step to doing love differently. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We post real stories and real psychology to help you grow in love and life.